about Jesus Christ. The true meaning of this, the true spiritual meaning of this is this. The gospel, bro. Good news. This is what we're doing. It's about the good news. Good news. Alright? And this is what the good news says. And this is what the good news said. Alright? Matthew 5:3. Blessed, meaning happy, to be envied and spiritually prosperous, with life, joy, and satisfaction in God's favor and salvation, regardless of their outward conditions, are the poor. The outward conditions, regardless of it, are the poor in spirit, meaning the humble, who rate themselves insignificant. They are not significant, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, with an expression. 4. Blessed and enviable, happy, with a happiness produced by the experience of God's favor, and especially conditioned by the revelation of His matchless grace, are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. In the gospel, that's Isaiah 61:2. Isaiah 61:2. All of them that mourn. That was in regards to the gospel. Matthew 5:5. Blessed, happy, blithesome, joyous, spiritually prosperous, with life, joy, and satisfaction in God's favor and salvation, regardless of their outward conditions. The humble again are the meek, the mild, patient, long-suffering, for they shall inherit the earth. In the gospel, read it from the gospel, Psalms 37:11.
Music. The Bluetooth device is ready. Music. The Bluetooth. Music.
But the meek in the end shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Glory to God. The gospel. You see how important it is? That means if you hear that what you're being taught right now, that means if you hear that you're to give God thanks, you have to give thanks according to the gospel. If you hear that you're to bless the Lord, you have to bless the Lord according to the gospel. If you hear that you're singing a song, you're to sing a song according to the gospel. If you hear anything that you do in words, anything that you do in deeds, do it according to the gospel. Everything must be done according to the gospel. Nothing without the gospel. How important the gospel is, brother. Go to Galatians 1:8-9.
preach to you a gospel contrary to and different from that which we preach to you, let him be accursed, meaning anathema, devoted to destruction, doomed to eternal punishment. As we said before, so I now say again, if anyone is preaching to you a gospel different from or contrary to that which you received from us, let him be accursed, meaning anathema, devoted to destruction, doomed to eternal punishment.
See, this is the gospel. That's what Christ preached. That's what the apostles preached. Everything that you hear in them, everything that you read that they said it according to the gospel. Everything that you hear they preach, they taught, is according to the gospel. The prophecies were according to the gospel. They did not come out of the gospel. They stayed in the gospel. So everything that you're doing must be according to the gospel. And this is what the word of Christ said. Matthew 5:4. Blessed and enviable, happy with a happiness produced by the experience of God's favor, and especially conditioned by the revelation of his matchless grace, are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed, happy, alright. Blessed and fortunate and happy, that's Matthew 5:6. And spiritually prosperous in that state in which the born again child of God enjoys his favor and salvation, are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, uprightness, and right standing with God, for they shall be completely satisfied. Harmonizing Isaiah 55:1 and 2.
Bluetooth device is
1, 2.
music. The Bluetooth device is
Come ye that hunger.
the
You can find it
Bluetooth
still and read
device
it.
is music.
Wait and listen.
Bluetooth
Everyone who is thirsty, come to the waters, and he who has no money, come buy and eat. Yes, come buy, meaning priceless spiritual wine and milk without money and without price, meaning simply for the self-surrender that accepts the blessings. Revelation 2, 6, 7, 22 and 17.
Hunger and thirst.
Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your earnings for what does not satisfy? Hearken diligently to me, and eat what is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness, meaning profuseness of spiritual joy. Jeremiah 31:12-14.
Right. Matthew 5 and 8. Matthew 5 and 8. Blessed, happy, enviable, fortunate, and spiritually prosperous, possessing the happiness produced by the experience of God's favor, and especially conditioned by the revelation of his grace, regardless of their outward conditions, are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Harmonizing Psalms 24:3, 4.